Without much warning, the skies over North Texas turned ominous. By the time most residents in Fort Worth and Arlington looked up, it was already too late. The storm had arrived, violent, relentless, and part of a far larger outbreak sweeping across the central United States. A roaring barrage of hailstones began pelting the metro area, some the size of golf balls, pounding rooftops, damaging siding, and shattering car windshields. Winds whipped through neighborhoods like a freight train, downing branches and peeling shingles from rooftops. It wasn't just a quick summer storm. It was a direct hit from a sprawling, volatile weather system that had been building for days and was now unleashing its full fury across a wide swath of the country. The groundwork for this severe weather siege was laid over the weekend when warm, humid air surged northward from the Gulf of Mexico, clashing with a powerful upper-level disturbance sweeping in from the west. The result? A volatile atmospheric cocktail with enough energy to produce round after round of severe thunderstorms, some capable of producing large hail, damaging wind gusts, and even tornadoes. Sunday brought one of the most dramatic and frightening moments in this unfolding event. Families gathered at Mustang Park on Lake Benbrook were caught off guard as a thunderstorm rolled in with little time to seek proper shelter. 14 people were huddled beneath a metal-framed canopy when lightning suddenly split the sky and struck. The bolt of energy lit up the area with a deafening crack, surging through the structure and knocking several people off their feet. The Crescent Volunteer Fire Department responded quickly. 2 individuals were taken to a nearby hospital as a precaution, while the other 12 were treated on scene. A nearby tree was also scorched, and a vehicle showed signs of being electrically charged by the blast. It was a sobering reminder of how dangerous and unpredictable these storms can be. But the storms didn't stop there. As night fell on Sunday, a line of thunderstorms surged north and east across Texas and Oklahoma, setting off severe thunderstorm warnings and bottle watches across multiple counties. The sound of emergency alerts blaring from smartphones echoed in homes from Wichita Falls to Waco. By Monday, the scope of the threat expanded dramatically. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Storm Prediction Center issued severe weather alerts that covered millions of Americans from the southern plains all the way into the upper Midwest. From the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas to the Canadian border in Minnesota, the message was clear. Brace for impact. Cities such as Amarillo, Cheyenne, Sioux Falls, and Grand Island were placed under a level 2 out of 5 threat for damaging winds and large hail. These weren't isolated pop-up thunderstorms. This was a coordinated assault by Mother Nature across an entire region. Tuesday brought another wave of intense storms, and it was clear the severe weather outbreak was far from over. From central Texas through Iowa and into southern Wisconsin, storm development was rampant. Cities like Dallas, Tulsa, Kansas City, Cedar Rapids, and Madison were all on alert. In Fort Worth and Arlington, the damage from Sunday and Monday's storms was still being cleaned up when fresh warnings were issued. The weather models didn't bring good news. Another round of powerful storms was approaching. Residents in the affected zones scrambled to make last-minute preparations, moving vehicles under cover, checking batteries and flashlights, and securing loose outdoor furniture. For many, it felt like déjà vu. Power crews, who had only just begun restoring service in some neighborhoods, were now on standby for another round of outages. Across the plains and Midwest, atmospheric instability continued to fuel storm development. A potent cold front collided with deep Gulf moisture, creating the perfect environment for long-lasting supercells and fast-moving squall lines. The forecast warned of damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour, hailstones potentially larger than baseballs, and the ever-present possibility of tornadoes, especially in isolated supercells ahead of the front. Though tornadoes were not the primary threat, they remained a dangerous wild card. The atmospheric ingredients were all in place: wind shear, moisture, lift, and instability. In places like Kansas City, Oklahoma City, and even southwestern Minnesota, forecasters warned that brief but intense tornadoes could form rapidly with little lead time. And yet, the storms brought more than physical damage. They brought emotional weight. The uncertainty of when and where the next storm would strike has cast a heavy shadow over millions of residents. From farmers in Nebraska watching their crops being flattened by hail, to families in Wisconsin preparing basements and emergency kits.
Holy! Oh!
Oh my gosh!
Look how big that one is. These are giant.
Father, please put it on the truck. Do you stand there and...
What?
Here.
Do we have...
Look, you didn't have to run out.
Does our car have protection over like hail and stuff?
I mean, you can claim insurance.
Baba.
Oh my gosh.
That's scary.
As of Tuesday afternoon, more than 14 million people remained under a level 2 threat zone. Meanwhile, cities like Dallas, Milwaukee, and Chicago, though under slightly lower threat levels, were not out of the woods. Scattered storms stretched as far north as Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Behind the front, cooler air brought temporary relief, but forecasters warned that additional systems were already forming and could bring more rounds of severe weather in the days to come. It's a pattern that's not only dangerous, but also draining for communities already dealing with flooding, property damage, and the psychological stress of repeated alerts and sirens. As this brutal weather pattern continues to sweep across the heart of the country, residents are urged to remain vigilant. Check alerts, listen to warnings, and don't underestimate any storm. What began as a regional event has now evolved into a multi-day, multi-state battle with the elements, and the threat is far from over.
We never had this now before.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.